Okay, I have officially finished Rhythm of War. There's going to be a full review video after this one. But this, similarly to Oathbringer, is the Sanderlanche, because I was in the middle of it, and, you know, shit kind of went sideways. So here's my little recap of some moments I need to talk about. First things first, Navani is a bondsmith now. Never saw that coming. That was wild. I was under the assumption that the sibling was going to bond with Rlain, and that would have been really cool. But Navani, she did it, which is crazy. There are 2 bondsmiths in that house now. And there's only 3 in existence. So, all the shit I've talked about Lirin, this moment where Lirin is wearing the slave brand on his forehead when Kaladin saves him and they have that kind of little reunion moment. And Kaladin, with the 4th ideal now, has his own shard plate, which is awesome. And his slave brand came off, which is even more awesome. Ishar, less awesome. Pretty crazy. And he has Szeth's dad's honor blade. And he's, like, legitimately crazy, so, that's not good. And that's, like, the bondsmith guy, so, oof. And couldn't find out, Taln is, like, the best fighter out of all of the heralds? Craziness. I feel bad because he is quite, unhinged at the moment, but it'd be kind of cool to see Taln fight something. The battle that was going on with Aiden, and the fact that he got, like, shard plate for a second, and then he, like, kicked the dude off, and it was just a bunch of windspren that, like, turned into shard plate and then moved to the next person and covered them up and the next person. That's so cool. I did not know that was an option, but that was awesome. Again, not awesome. Ishar is, like, experimenting on Spren, like, pulling their full bodies into the physical realm just to see how long they're gonna live, and Honor Spren, I guess, lasts the longest, but, like, dude, Spren can die, apparently, because those were corpses of the physical. I don't know what's happening in there, but it ain't good. And, like, why? Also going back, Moash being blind, good. Odium immediately knowing that Hoid wrote the contract was hilarious. And even more hilarious, because we'll get to it at the end, Hoid wrote his name on the contract just to poke at him. That was good. And I'm just not realizing we're ping-ponging, yin-yanging, left and righting. Because I'm like, that's awesome. But you know what's not awesome? The deal. I mean, it's awesome that, like, it ends in peace one way or another. But, like, Odium wanted Dalinar as a fused? Ooh, no. I don't like those odds. I don't like those odds. I don't like those risks. I don't want that to happen at all. Now, this moment with Taravangian being stupid. And then Odium shows up, Szeth shows up to kill Taravangian. As he's doing this, he sees Odium, pulls Nightblood out, stabs Odium, becomes Odium. I never would have seen that coming. That is crazy. And the fact that Race's body was left behind, and they're like, oh, well, that's Taravangian. Huh, crazy. Nightblood does that, I guess. What? Rlain is a Truth Watcher now, which is cool, just like Renarin, which is double cool. And the coolest, Teft got a king's funeral. He's like a statue with the rest of, like, the highest honors. God, I love that. I love that so much. I would be there all the time. The question I have, though, the Tien moment. Was that really Tien? And, like, how does that work? Like, I understand he mentioned, like, connection, and Dalinar can, you know, like, bridge realms and shit. But, like, Tien he was grown up. And, like, the horse makes me think it was Tien. But, like, he died as a kid. But now he's an adult. So, like, was that really Tien? Or was Tien literally waiting in the cognitive realm this entire time as, like, a shadow? But that only happens if you're, like, super invested. And was Tien super invested? I don't think so. Maybe I missed that. In this moment with cultivation, with Taravangian, was a little confusing, because it seemed like this was Cultivation's plan all along. Because, you know, she did the whole thing with Dalinar and the thrill, and then let it kind of get back to him so that Odium couldn't take him over. And then making Taravangian stupid and smart. But then he took out Odium, and she was like, "Oh, good job." So what is that? And that was a Sion in the cube. I knew it. Shallan telling Mraize that she's not joining the Ghostbloods, and he is very much not happy about it. But then she gives a message to Thydakar from Sifandrius saying, "Don't make me come over there and slap you around again." That was hilarious. Venli's mom being healed from her Alzheimer's and stuff, and Venli's officially a Radiant. That was cool. That was a sweet moment. Dalinar being his own champion makes sense, especially because Kaladin can't do it anymore and shouldn't do it anymore. But Dalinar, he hasn't fought in a while. So, I mean, he's still the Blackthorn. I'm sure if you put a blade in his hand, he'd be fine. But we're talking about cosmic level battles here. And at first I was like, ooh, I don't like these odds. I don't like this risk. But I like it even less now because it's Taravangian, who is so smart. To the point where he took out Odium as an idiot. So, God, I'm so nervous. And then I meet this guy, L. He's a fused, but has no title. And he just, killed the Pursuer, who's now the defeated one. That was great. Kaladin fighting him and being like, "I'm going to kill you again and again. You're not the Pursuer anymore. You're the defeated one." I was like, damn, this is pretty good. And then L was like, no, you're the defeated one. And he's like, what? And then he stabs him. I was like, ooh. And then Dalinar and the Stormfather have this conversation. And he talks about, the Stormfather tells Dalinar, it was good that you had mercy. And he's like, yeah, maybe you should try it. And he's like, I've done it a few times. And he's like, when? And then we cut to the Eshonai flashback. And it was when she died. And I guess she was highly invested when she died. And so when she passed on into the cognitive realm, the Stormfather made her the storm and let her see the world. I don't know, that was cute. I like that. And then the epilogue. Wit, he has breaths that hold memories. Okay, interesting. And he went to the pinnacle and was doing magic tricks for the Spren. But then Odium showed up. But then he has this conversation, and then he has the same conversation again. He's in a Matrix loop. And he doesn't realize it. And he was like, oh, well, I can't hurt you. Which this is actually Taravangian, I think. And he showed himself as race, perhaps. I don't know what's going on there, but it is not good. And the fact that Wit had the same conversation and then it just looped and he just had it again and it didn't seem like he noticed at all. Ooh. I mean, what a Sanderlanche. That was not... I did not expect this whatsoever. And, what a blast. I will just say, I did, as much as it pained me, I did love that one of Teft's last thoughts to himself was, you did good with that one, Teft. Looking at Kaladin. That was good. That was good. But yeah, that was the Sanderlanche of Rhythm of War. Full review coming next. And then you know what's next up.